Good. I'll just start. Obviously, defense, we've had our ups and downs this season. I think the biggest thing we're trying to get over, and you see where we struggle the most, is number one, the number of big plays that we give up, and that's something each week we try to limit. And it is hard in this league, especially with the offenses that we face on a week-to-week basis. So that's something we try to do. And if you look at the root of that, I think, as you guys have seen, is our tackling vastly needs to improve. And I think if we can make in that game we had about 28 missed tackles and almost 300 yards of extra yardage after missed tackles. So obviously that's something we need to clean up. The other point that we need to do is take care of what we can take care of, and that's get ourselves off the field on third down a lot more efficiently than we are right now. So, I think those are the two biggest things. But, there is some growth that we see, especially some of the younger players that are getting the game experience as we move along throughout the course of the season. So that's kind of where we see things right now as we move along here towards the back half of the season. So I'll be free to take any questions that you guys may have.
Billy, missed tackles didn't seem to be that big of a problem until the last couple of weeks. Is there anything you can pin that on?
Yeah, I think if you look at some of the teams that we played, starting probably with the Memphis game to the Missouri game, to last week, and the kind of athlete that you see on the field that we're going against, in space, there are a lot of instances where we get exposed in some one-on-one situations. And, during the season, you're not going to work on tackling in terms of live tackling. And the only way you get better at tackling is by actually doing it. And, obviously we do as many drills as we can to try to improve on that stuff. And the thing we try to emphasize to our guys is this: be aggressive when you tackle. And when you see our guys miss tackles, you see them stop their feet and they stop their momentum. And once our guys stop their feet, they're done. They're done. So we got to just be aggressive, keep our momentum going forward, and just take our shot on the tackle. And we even teach sometimes, hey, if you miss, you miss. But if you miss with the proper leverage and you miss going full speed and take your shot, that's a good miss. And then we got guys running to the football. Right now, we're not getting that done.
How many missed tackles would your team average in a normal, would be a good week for you?
Oh, in the past,
Yeah.
if we had double digits, that would be good. So I'd say somewhere in the 9 to 10 range is something we were always shooting for. And we're way too many right now.
What were you the previous week?
We were in the 20s, 25, yeah. I guess the previous against Missouri. Yeah.
Has it been a bigger adjustment than you thought with the new system for the players?
Yeah, it has. Because you're trying to keep things simple, especially with the number of young guys we have playing on the back end. Trying to keep things simple as we can for those guys, because again, you're facing a lot of offenses who are not just very talented; they go fast, and our guys got to be able to process. And on the flip side of that, we're not probably talented enough right now to stay in one thing against the teams that we're seeing. So we're going to have to do multiple things, but it's a double-edged sword a little bit. Are we good enough to handle all that stuff and at the same time get lined up and execute?
What were your expectations for the production of your pass defense coming into this season?
I knew it was going to be a little bit of a rough road with the number of new faces that were going to be back there, and again, coupled with the quarterbacks and the passing attacks, that we've seen, you know what I mean? But again, it's obviously not good. But if we make some tackles where we need to make some tackles, I mean, honestly, in the last 2 weeks, there hasn't been a ton of balls over our heads. It's been some of the quick throws that are 5 or 10 yard throws that have turned into 30-yard gains because we've missed some tackles, and that's the stuff we can control, and we really got to get that fixed.
Given where you guys sit, is it daunting to see the highest scoring team in the country?
No. I mean, honestly, it is what it is. I'm not happy where we are, but we're not changing it, and we know what this league is week in, week out. You know what I mean? And I mean, the only way to see it is, hey, this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to, the number 13th team in the country right now, I think in the latest AP poll, and the number 1 scoring offense in the nation. Okay, well, guess what? The game's coming on Saturday, so we got to play it, and we're going to play it, and we got to see that as an opportunity to say, hey, what can we do? Can we improve from week to week? And then that's the goal, especially with some of the young guys that we're rolling with.
What makes your quarterback so good?
He's very smart. He knows. I mean, he's completing over 70% of his passes, so he knows where to go with the football. If you watch, and I said to the guys this morning, you watched them last year. I watched almost all their games last year versus all their games this year. I've never seen an offense improve the way in one season, the way this offense has. They were not a very good offense last year. And this year, they're the best in the country statistically, you know. So it's, you know, I think the most important thing about him is he knows where to go with the football. He makes very good decisions, and he can hurt you with his legs. And he has benefited greatly versus, one, he's more seasoned than he was a year ago, obviously. He got his lumps last year as a freshman, but he has a tremendously talented supporting cast around him. The running backs, the receivers, the tight ends.
Have you seen progress? The numbers I know are pretty scary, but have you seen progress since the beginning of the
We have, you know what I mean? And the thing I think, the biggest thing is, and this, I think you guys have seen throughout the course of the season, it's been, okay, there's one good quarter. All right, there's two good quarters. You know what I mean? We have yet to really been able to sustain a four-quarter, you know, performance. And that's the biggest thing we try to, and when you got young guys, you're going to have that lapse, but you know, we got to get there on a consistent basis and say, okay, there's a good quarter. You know, there's a second quarter. You know, even against South Florida, talented team, you know, going into halftime, you're like, okay, you know, they got short field coming out the gate, you know, start the game, we go 3 and out, stop them, and hey, there you go, we got a little confidence going. And then, you know, then you get to the third quarter and the wheels fall off. And then obviously we missed those 2 tackles on the 95-yard touchdown. And then, you know, once it starts to go that way a little bit, you can't let it snowball on us.
How is Milton different from Flowers?
You know, obviously, you know, Flowers just with his legs he's a difference maker, you know, and, you know, while, you know, Milton can hurt you with his legs, it's not quite Flowers, you know what I mean, and, but he does a really good job of getting the ball out of his hand quickly and getting it to his playmakers.
Killins might be the fastest running back in the country. Just your thoughts on what he brings to that offense?
Speed. He's a home run every time he touches the football. I mean, if you guys got put on a Navy, you saw him turn that corner against Navy, and it was, you know what I mean. So you got to have edges, you got to be gap sound, and you know we got to vice him and bottle him up. And if we take a shot with our tackles, we got to take it with proper leverage to get it back to our help.
You've coached some pretty good defenses in the past at the low end. So how tough is it for you personally just to deal with? I mean, you knew you were going to have some growing pains, but just to deal with this.
Yeah.
And giving up big.
Yeah, it's you know it's frustrating for sure. You know what I mean. I think you know myself, all the coaches on our side of the ball. You know the players are. You know what I mean. And if they're not, then there's something wrong. You know. So yeah, it's frustrating to deal with, but you know you're not going to put your head in the sand and say it's going to magically disappear. We got to you know figure out ways to get our guys in the right positions to make the plays, and also get the guys in the right positions, which has been a work in progress for us throughout the entire season so far.
What about the pass rush? What's the key to improving that?
You know, to me, pass rush is all want to and desire. You know what I mean? I think all the guys that we have rushing the quarterback, we've seen them be successful doing it. You know, and they just got to continue to go with it and you know execute it and just go hard. Because to me, it's you know you're going to rush 4, they're going to block with 6 probably, so they got enough. You know, so you know we got to be able to just execute and it's effort and want to really desire to try to get to that quarterback.
Billy, Randy said a couple of times, I think, first after the Memphis loss, that, look, this is the system we've chosen for the long haul. It doesn't look very good right now because we don't have the personnel.
Yep.
Would you address that, the personnel, and do you see some of the younger guys getting all this experience now becoming the personnel you need over the next year?
I'd agree 100% with Coach. You know, we're not, you know, where we are, you know what I mean? It's, you know, you got some guys, you know, at linebacker. Junior's a true linebacker, you know what I mean? You know, Vontae, you know, he's working his butt off and he's learning how to still become a true linebacker. He's played out of the box his entire career, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's guys like that we're still working forward to get there. You know, in our up front, you know, Cole and Luke are battling and they're playing hard, you know, but, you know, from a 4-eye standpoint, the technique we use, obviously we're looking for some bigger body types and things like that. You know, those guys are working hard and doing what they can, you know what I mean? But, you know, I think guys like, you know, Darian Beavers, you know, we're teaching him how to become a linebacker. You know what I mean? He was a safety coming out of high school. You know what I mean? So, and in the secondary, you know, at safety especially, you got those young faces who, you know, are still learning, one, how to play football, doing it at a fast tempo and doing it against some really good competition. So, yeah, we're still going to be in the work in progress of getting the right pieces in place to fit what we're trying to do.
Are you encouraged by the recruiting? that you're gonna be bringing in some pieces?
Absolutely, yeah. So far in this, even in some of the freshman class that we currently have here that are redshirting, and then guys that we're working on for this incoming class and the 2019s and 2020s as well. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a continuous process as we move along.
Coach Edsel talked about Marche Terry using like what he saw at the last game. Can you run me through kind of what?
Yeah, I think what you see with Marche is he was much more aggressive. You saw him a couple times. Now, he missed a couple tackles, and they were bad ones. But you also saw him be a little bit more aggressive in certain situations, attacking the ball carrier in space, and that's what we're trying to get. And to see a guy like him starting to come around with that was positive to see. And he played a little bit more consistently than he had the week before.
Anyone else you've really been impressed with their improvement during the season?
I think a lot of the guys have shown flashes at times. You know what I mean? It's just been very inconsistent, I would say. Even with a guy like Marche, you know what I mean? It's from young guys. You saw, I think, Braden early when he first started playing was showing some things, and then he kind of dropped off a little bit the last couple weeks. And again, that's what you're going to get with some of these younger players. It's not going to be, I don't think, a consistent deal across the board. Every play, every series, every quarter, every game, for that matter. But, again, like we're encouraged guys like Marche, and even a guy like Jordan Swan who, played, and he was efficient earlier, and then, obviously, as we played some of these other guys, there was a little bit of a lull there with him, but it's more of a consistency thing, especially with these young guys.
Malik Bokanon missed most of the season. What would his role have been had he been healthy, and what's he bring?
Who's that?
Bokanon?
Oh, Phil, yeah. I mean, Phil's another, bigger body type guy who, for a big guy, he has some athleticism, and he's a bigger body type than a guy like maybe Cole or Luke, who those are the guys in terms of a body type you're kind of looking for. So, and he's got some good athleticism for a guy that size. So, and honestly, as many guys as you can have up front, the better you're going to be. You know what I mean? So you can rotate, and those guys aren't playing as many snaps as they need to, because when he got hurt and when James was hurt, our depth took a significant hit at that position.
Questions for Bill?
Good.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
Bring right.